Every club. Every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.
Hello and welcome to the Newcastle United podcast with GSPN. It is the girls only day. The girls, it's the girls. I'll try and at least speak properly. I'm fresh from a festival, people, so yeah, please forgive me if anything goes wrong, because it's probably going to. But as I said, yeah, it's just me and Nick, so we are feeling super healthy, the pair of us. Not. So again, you can forgive both of us. But the boys ditched us. Boo.
Boo.
No, just messing.
We ditched them.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so we're going to review the Villa game. So, hi Nick, by the way, because I'm going to start rambling already. You all right, girl?
Hey, yeah, all good.
Happy days. Right. We'll just cut straight into it. Yeah, this is the review for Villa. We'll obviously talk a bit about the actual match, kind of what happened around before and after and stuff like that. But general consensus for the match, personally, I think it was a strong start. It was probably stronger than anyone expected because we were the underdogs going into it. I say the underdogs going into it, but it's mad really. We really were the only underdogs because of what's been going on recently, isn't it? It's because of the whole Isak saga. That's the only time I'm going to mention his name, hopefully, on this pod.
I probably won't.
I was just sick of talking about him, man. Yeah. So in reality, we shouldn't have been the underdogs, but I think there's just been so much kind of negativity and everything going on towards us that they thought, oh, Villa's going to smash them. And let's get real. You know, in recent seasons, Villa have consistently smashed us down there, bar one, I believe, out of the last 5. Just like we smashed them at St James's, and it's become a bit of a running joke that even between the fan bases, that's what happens now. So for a 0-0 draw to play out, I don't think anyone saw that coming. I appreciate they went down to 10 men, which we can cover again, obviously, later on the pod, but still, it was more towards the end of the match, so it's not like it was a full game of 10 men. But to me, as I say, I'll be honest, I was really happy with it. Really strong first half, but you saw the fact that we were missing the firepower up front.
Mm-hmm.
They had no chances, not a single shot, even, never mind on target. So that's kind of the disappointing part of the first half, and I'm sure like Eddie Howe and anyone else would agree with that when you are on top like that, you need to kind of take some of your chances, and I kind of felt bad for Elanga, because Elanga's chance really on the game that he just kind of took one too many touches for, and then just ended up almost scuffing the shot, which was then easily saved, let's say. I think it kind of had a bit of a negative effect on him. He then almost felt like he was trying to catch up with himself. He was kind of overhyped a bit. There was misplaced passes. There was just miscontrolled balls. There was kind of all sorts of the fact where I was, by half time, like really calling for Murphy to come on. I think a lot of people were, to be fair, and the pub I was in before the festival, where there was quite a few people who were like, oh, bring Murphy on. But it wasn't nothing against Elanga, because again, it just probably got in his head a bit, wasn't it? But I think we just need that stability that Murphy brought us last season. And, you know, all jokes aside, I know he's not going to be the chosen one on the right anymore, but he knows how we play. He kind of knows our kind of style and game. And all right, he doesn't have Isak in the middle to pass to, but there was other options as well. But, you know, that didn't happen, so it's fine. What's your kind of take on that from the first half? You got anything to add on that, or?
Other than the fact there was obviously mixed opinions about the Elanga shout of him starting and Murphy obviously on the bench. Now, I don't know if it was a case of we're not in training, so we don't know what Eddie Howe's seeing, obviously, and we can appreciate before everyone then comes for me and Joe and gives us their normal comments. Can appreciate that Murphy probably isn't our first pick at the minute. However, I was quite surprised to see Elanga picked over Murphy. More so because first Premier League game, let's not underestimate, it's very hard ground to go to for us notoriously. We seem to either have a great game or very poor. And obviously, like you say, Murphy knows. Obviously, I'm not saying Elanga doesn't, but obviously Murphy knows our style of play. Of
course, yeah.
So
natural.
So I was quite surprised to see that. However, I do feel like Elanga, I feel like for, I guess, his debut, I mean, I know he did pre-season, but I'll just talk from a Premier League stance for Newcastle, his Newcastle Premier League debut. I didn't think he had a poor game, but I do agree. I don't know if maybe the occasion just got to him a little bit and felt like he had a bit of a point to prove. Which is to be expected. Nerves are to be expected. We've seen it time and time and time again with new players, not just for Newcastle, for every team. Do you know what I mean? So TK doesn't seem to have that problem though, does he? But yeah, we've seen it time and time again. I will be honest. I thought the one player that, I don't know if you're going to go into this, so please tell me if
All right,
you are.
go for it.
But the one player that I did, which I'm really feel bad saying this, I did think had a bit of a poor game was Tino.
Mm,
I thought of all the wingers that Tino's had in his back pocket, I thought John
yeah,
McGinn had him a little bit on ice yesterday, on Saturday, sorry.
unfortunately.
Which again, I don't know if it was first game nerves or dust off. I don't know what it was, but I did think Tino had a bit of a poor game compared to most.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
He
not a
wasn't as
terrible
good as he
game.
can be.
Yeah,
No, I'm with you. I am with you there because we're not going to say none of them had terrible games. I think as a whole, we actually played really well. And like I say, it's a real
I
shame
agree.
to the point where before the game, if you'd asked us if I would have took a point, I would have been like, yeah, again, after the amount of smashings we've had down there, yeah, I would have been happy with a point, especially with what's going on. But for how the game played out, it almost felt like we'd actually dropped 2 points. So
Yeah,
it is a tough one, yes. Yeah. So, look, some players were stronger than us. It's as simple as that. But that's kind of how every game goes, isn't it?
yeah,
I think, if I'm honest, and the main change I would have made right at the start would have been Barnes in the middle and Gordon on the left. And I know before anyone again wants to come at us and say things like, "Oh, well, Barnes isn't a striker." Yeah, but also Gordon is not an in-and-out striker, you know what I mean? Gordon, all right, played well as a striker for the under-21s. Yes, it worked brilliantly, right? But
mm,
he really hasn't ever as a striker for us, and that's kind of the point. Because for me, Gordon is more effective on the left than Barnes is, and Barnes is
agreed,
actually a generally better striker of the ball than Gordon.
agreed,
So I would have loved to have seen that switch up. And if I'm honest, I was kind of, when I saw the lineup, I was like, yeah, all right, expected. Barnes on
agreed.
the left, gonna, but I was hoping he was kind of going to let them switch about and mix up, and I didn't see any evidence of that. I'll be honest, but
I wonder if we're going to see that. Obviously, I'm trying not to mention him too much, but it's what people are listening for at the minute is the Isak saga. The more
yeah,
this goes on, for however long it goes on, but the more this goes on, I wonder if Eddie Howe is just he's got really no other option unless we get someone in over the next couple of weeks. I wonder if we will see him play around with the formation. I wonder if we will see it because he doesn't know what's going to
yeah,
work, does he? I mean, our only strike, well, not our only striker, but our number one striker is refusing to play. So I wonder if we will see him
brilliant.
make some change like that, or if we will just see him stick with the formation that he did on Saturday. Who knows?
Yeah,
Only he knows.
look, it's a tough one, isn't it? Because I think the whole Visa situation is apparently going to be sealed in the next couple of days, and this now might be like a moot point, so to speak.
Yeah,
Because if he comes in, yes, he's going to have to be integrated very quickly. But if he comes in the next couple of days, I would absolutely expect him to start against Liverpool. It's as simple as that. Because he will be match fit. He has trained, all right. He hasn't trained a lot because we all know that he's kind of stepped aside from Brentford training and stuff like that. So he hasn't been doing. He's been naughty as well. We've all
not
acknowledged
cool.
this, all right, people.
Yeah,
Before anyone, it's not cool. It's not cool on our side, and we've already said this, so it's fine. But yeah, like we need him. It's as simple as that, and that's why us Newcastle fans are kind of saying, well, yeah, actually bring him in regardless because we need a striker. It's as simple as that. And yes, if he comes in by say Tuesday ish, we don't play Liverpool on Monday. It's time to get him kind of,
sort of
I don't
embedded.
know. It's quick
Yeah.
enough though, isn't it? Because I don't know. I can't see how playing Barnes up in the middle against Liverpool.
No,
I think the Villa game would have been the one to do it against. You know what I
I
mean? If
think
we were still in that situation of having no Visa, no whatever. You know what I mean?
yeah, I think with and I'm going to call it an occasion with the Liverpool game because
No, it will
tensions are
be
quite high
burning.
with and I think yeah burning. I think Anthony Gordon discussed that yesterday after the match about how the tension may be or I can't remember what he said, but he said there's going to be definitely high tensions at the Liverpool game.
Mm.
I think Howe will only be picking not the plays that he think he can handle the occasion because let's be honest, they're all professionals. They should be able to handle it in their own way.
Well,
But I think he'll be picking his. I don't actually know. I don't know what I'm trying to say because I'm just thinking without a striker,
I know what you're
who
saying.
knows what we're doing?
He'll pick. He'll realistically pick the team that's just played. He
Mm,
will.
yeah,
I mean, I'm not again being rude to Elanga. I would start Murphy against Liverpool. I really would because again, it just goes back to what we're saying. He knows his style. I'm
he
not
started
saying
the
he's
final.
going to be on number one moving forward. He's not. But if we've looked at the history of how, and you made a great point there, how you were surprised that he started. Because really, what we're expecting and what we're used to from Howe is he integrates people in and he takes forever. I mean, dear God, Bruno took forever to get in, and he
Well, it
was
was
like
Hall. Took
chomping at the bit,
years.
man. You know what I mean? Wasn't he?
Well,
That's what I mean. But it's like months and months, and then eventually they're kind of embedded in. For Elanga to start, it was a surprise based on that alone. I'll be honest. Yeah.
you look at players he's embedded in. And I know it's not. I know people are going to be like, "Well, it's not exactly a comparison," but look at Osula. I mean, I'm not saying he should have started yesterday, and I am no right saying that he should have started. Look how long it's taken him to embed into the team and get minutes on the thing.
Yeah.
That's a striker we have on the bench, by the way, and he's still not starting.
Mad, isn't it?
So there's obviously something not right, but there's obviously
He doesn't quite trust Basula right just yet, does he? Not enough. I'm saying it sounds hard to say he doesn't trust him, doesn't it? But yeah, he doesn't trust him to handle that kind of starting position and seeing out at least a good 70 minutes of the match, because Howe does like to tend to leave his subs a bit too late. Because again, I'm not going to lie, this was something I was kind of shouting out for. I was like, imagine so many other people were not only at the halftime subs, but even when it got into the second half, and especially because we didn't really start so strong, we're really yelling out for the kind of subs to happen before like the 75th minute, I think, or whatever it was. But I'll tell you what, I'll pause right now because I know we've got an ad to play, but we'll come back, we'll talk about the second half and just a bit more about kind of what happened after the match and stuff like that. All right?
Cool.
Your body is unique. And Global Sports Podcast Network has partnered with Bioniq, the world's most personalised supplements. Bioniq provide 100% tailor-made supplements designed to deliver precisely what your body needs at exactly the right levels to optimise your health. No guessing. So click the link in the show notes. Use the code GSPN2025 for 40% off your first month's subscription. Bioniq. Don't settle for off-the-shelf solutions made for just anybody. Get what's right for you right now.
I feel like I'm on a plane when that plays.
I'm not going to lie, right? That's like being a kind of floaty.
I know, yeah. It really is.
So that's Ken's dulcet tones with some added jingle. So I think that's the first time we've heard that one. So I don't know who's put that mix in, but ironically, it is called the Bioniq ad mix final. So someone has been messing about with the ad. Yeah, exactly. It's a Bioniq remix. But delivering the same message. It's cool. Right, anyway, back to football, because that's what we're here for, right? So yes, second half, Nick. As predicted, and as, again, I'm probably a load of people said exactly what we did because I was sitting in the pub with my mate before the festival, and I was like, it's one of those that you've had that great first half, you haven't wrapped it up, fine, well, Villa are going to come out fighting, because that's always what happens. They'll have had that pep talk. They've had that kind of, we need to push harder type of situation at half time. And look what happened. They did. They came out stronger in the second half. It's as simple as that. I think we came back and started dominating again, by the way, like the second half of the second half, if you want to call it that. Let's call it the fourth quarter for the American listeners. But you see, and that's where the worry came, because I think they had a shot, their first shot, and man, if it wasn't for Pub's positioning, like it was a decent shot. It was like fair play to them. But that when all of a sudden then you're on the edge of your seat and you're thinking, hang on, this is where that first half of not wrapping anything up is going to come back and bite. Well, thank God it didn't, right? And look, they got a very deserved red card, by the way. I was in a pub, by the way. I'm just going to lay this out in Middlesbrough, Stockton, Sedgefield type of area. So it was like very much a Middlesbrough type of pub. Fair play to them. Majority of people in there were Geordies, but there was the odd Mackem in that, and me and Mackham's don't mix well.
Well, especially not yesterday when they just thrashed West Ham 3-0.
But they hadn't won yet, and he was still cocky as hell, and I was like, dude, don't start. Like, he was just giving it all that. And then when the guy got a red card, and it was a red card, it was the last man. It was funny because he was with his mate who was a Geordie, and the proper started arguing over it.
Oh, God.
He was like going, that's hardly a red card, that's soft, that. And he's like, his mate was going, give over, man, it's the last man. So all of us started going, it's the last man. The whole pub's like,
it was a red card.
This man, he wouldn't give up, honestly. I was like, I felt like saying, stop being so damn biased, man. Last man, it's the rules. It was a red card, simple as that, right?
Also, even Conda, who got sent off, was waiting for the red card, and I'm like, to be confirmed. And I thought, dude,
you did it on purpose.
It's definitely a red card. Why are you waiting? Get off.
I know. It's almost like a take one for the team moment, wasn't it?
Yeah,
because Gordon was through. Gordon had a great chance. All right, it's not guaranteed that he was going to do it. He could have fluffed his lines and sent it in the stands.
Don't know that, though.
A high chance of him scoring as well. So, so it almost was. We've seen it happen before in football did he almost do it on purpose? But that's where it is a red card. It's as simple as that. You cannot take someone down as a last man. Simple. So, it's done. But I've always said, right, when teams get a red card, and it's happened for us as well, sometimes you band together more at that point, and it's harder sometimes to play against 10 men.
Agreed.
Because the formation shift. They will sit behind the ball a lot more. And there we go. That, to me, actually, that ironically was our kind of, not a chance gone to score, because that's a bit ridiculous to say that, but I think it actually made it harder. because Villa did start to shift, and you have to adapt when you lose a man. It's as simple as that. So
yeah, I completely agree. I think all of us on this pod have said sometimes it is harder to play. Excuse me, sorry, against 10 men than it is 11 men. Because you're right, everything changes. They become more defensive. They sit behind the ball. They don't attack as much, and you're just trying to give and give and give and give. To be honest, I don't think much changed from the first half to the second half. I think you're right. I think we took a while to get into the game the second half. God knows what happened there, but I do think we took a while. And I'm just stating the obvious. Yesterday was just. I felt sorry for the team because it's not as if they didn't try. Every single one of them try. I know I criticised Tino saying that I thought he had a poor game just because I thought he did, but
just not as good as he can be. Yeah,
just not at his best. Yeah, he didn't have an abysmal performance, but he just wasn't at his best. But as a collective, the team tried. They all turned up and they played as a team. It was just Saturday. By the time people listen to this, Saturday's game was just a clear view of what we're missing. I'm not sitting here saying that if Isak played that game, we would have won 1-2-3-0. But what could have been if he just,
to have a
turned
target
up.
man.
I mean, I think I've just been watching
to have a striker full stop.
Mate, yeah, I think I've just been watching the Chelsea and Crystal Palace game, and I'm sure it's Eze, wants to leave, but he's still on that pitch performing for Crystal Palace, and I'm just a bit like, look what happens when you actually communicate with your club and your fans and your players, and you actually can still play whilst respecting. And I'm just a bit disappointed. I feel more disappointed now for the team than anything, because I'm like, you guys have gone down to Villa Park with 10,000 fans following you down there, and what could have been with a performance striker, but like I say, I'm not disappointed with the point at Villa Park. Very hard place to go to on a good day, on a bad day and a good day. So yeah, it could have been worse, could have been better. Yeah.
I think just Villa were poor, especially in the first half.
Yeah, they were.
That's where we should have wrapped it. Look, we didn't, right? We can say it a million times. We didn't wrap it up. It's as simple as that. But again, we've established pretty much why we think we didn't wrap it up as well. So
Villa, it's hard, isn't it? Because I don't know, I'm just now going off pitch sort of vibes here. Villa are really kind of in the same position as us when it comes to, the Premier League rules and the PSR and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, 100%.
And I feel quite bad for ever actually slating Villa on this pod. Maybe not the team, more so their fan base, because they've become a bit unbearable online. But I'm now starting to look at it in a different light. I'm thinking we're actually all in the same boat, because
we are.
As two teams that should be on the rise and are on the rise, it's becoming very evident on the pitch. And I'll talk about Villa and Newcastle and also the likes of West Ham. Very clear that they're struggling with the rules because they can't spend a single thing.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Which is shocking. And it's actually a bit like we should all be united a little bit, because Villa are a good side, and they're having to sell and sell and sell to stay in line with the regulations and can't buy. It's becoming a bit of a sad state of affairs to watch play out, really. And you've got the likes of Liverpool obviously spending, what they spent this window, 200 million or something.
I think it's more than that now. I think
Chelsea have spent an absolute fortune, and that they've just put on the worst performance I've ever seen. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are untrackable. And what they've just put out on the pitch this afternoon,
I know. I watched it. I watched the second half. Yeah,
awful. It's just a bit sad, really. I've gone a bit off track here, but yeah.
No, it's fine. It's relevant, man. It is relevant. So it kind of all links together, isn't it? And this is where all these problems are coming in. And, people are saying, well, if you sell Isak, it solves your PSR problems. I mean, it doesn't solve them fully. We'll never still be able to do exactly what Liverpool and Chelsea are doing. But dear God, 150 million would be huge for us. Yes, because you're talking about multiple windows worth of spending and stuff like that. So I do agree it is huge for us. But it doesn't fully solve it, because it'll never go away. Because eventually that money runs out and you're back almost back to square one, aren't you?
Yep.
But I mean, we all agree that he needs to go regardless. So let's just see what plays out with the Visa thing. The thing is, though, you said we wanted 2 strikers before he goes. So the whole Visa thing, regardless, it doesn't actually solve that solution for him. Not that I really want to solve it for him at all, as we've already established. But that kind of leads on what you were saying there about the fans and how loyal we've been, stuff like that, to then what was sang at the end of the game. I mean, I can't sing it because we're not allowed to swear on this podcast, but anyone that's seen any clips will know exactly what the entire away fans sang. And you know what?
Fair play.
I understand it, man. And I love that Mr. Cool Eddie came out with his, what was it? I'm going to have to pull it back up because my brain is not functioning today, man.
He
Did I send it on
said,
the main group, didn't I?
yeah, let me see if I can get it.
Because then it was interpreted as something. He came out and said like the super sensible
So
thing.
here goes. He
And then,
says, whatever happens with Isak, our supporters acted really well today because they supported the team when we were playing. They've always done that unbelievably well. If they want to say something afterwards, they are then free to do that. So in other words, I completely agree.
JT would have been in the crowd shouting it with them. That's the difference. It's like, honestly, and this
JT
is
was in
why
the
he'd
crowd.
probably never be interviewed. That's why they don't ask him. They're like, nobody has asked Tyndall how
Brilliant.
he feels about it. He's like, yeah. But this is where you've got to hand it to Hellman. He's like, he just handles everything perfectly. And you've even got people now who love to rip the piece out of Howe or rip us for having Howe. And, he's still not one of the world's best. He is, by the way, but never mind. Even they're now starting to say the grace that he's shown, you just don't see it. You don't. It's a rare quality in a human, never mind a football manager. So
Yeah, he's really
I've
keeping
admitted
his
I
cool.
wouldn't be that way. Yeah, I'd be over emotional, probably
Same.
code haters.
I can't imagine he's keeping his cool behind the scenes when he's maybe him and the hierarchy dealing with that situation. I imagine
he's got to let it out somewhere.
He's got to let it out somewhere, yeah. I imagine he's quite raging. But I imagine he's obviously letting that off in, his own way. And he said yesterday when someone asked him about it, he said, there's people dealing with that behind the scenes. My focus is the team. And I just thought, do you know what? That's a very true and also a very good way to answer the question. He's probably, what else can he say? Because he knows
he must be sick.
Yeah, he's obviously sick of it. Yeah, but he's also like, in a way, probably feels very disrespected. And just while I'm on this, actually, while talking about this, there's a video that's been uploaded of me and Kev, 2 videos on TikTok talking about the Isak situation, and I'm just coming for everyone that's been in the comments, and it's been unbearable listening to some people's comments, and reading them. Listen to the full podcasts before you comment on things.
Oh,
because
I know.
we comment on things. But I'm just going to sit here and say, and I've said this, and I've written it down in a comment on TikTok somewhere to someone that was being unbearable. Isak would be nothing without Newcastle United and Eddie Howe, the fans, his players, his teammates, nothing. Likewise, Newcastle United wouldn't have done as well without Isak. So I'm just giving both sides of the story here.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But yeah, I imagine he's probably feeling very disrespected, very to the end of his tether with it. And he won't ever say this until maybe it does happen, but he probably just doesn't want him here anymore. He's probably just a bit like, just go.
He won't want the poison in the squad. He loves that he's got a united squad, hasn't he? And the rest of the team have come out and said, and you said this before, about how the players kind of post-match and stuff, they were like, it was almost saying it without saying it about how they're feeling, because you can imagine the players must be sick as well. There's no way
I'll see if I can get the damn burn one up.
Yeah. He will have some friends in the squad, he will, and it's natural. So he will have some people that might stick up for him on a personal level. But you've got to think that the vast majority of the squad, we've joked about Joe Linton wanting to kill him, guaranteed. Bruno wanting to kill him, guaranteed. The likes of Big Dan Burn or like the Geordie lads. But like, I think the majority of the squad, because can you imagine just in a workplace? Because let's get real, that's what these guys are, and we've joked about all the time. It's their job. Can you imagine us going into work? And, I don't know, there's say 20 of us on your team, right? And you're causing the havoc. They are, but you expect all the rest of your team to still love you and think like you're great, and it's fine, man. Like Joe, Nick, yeah, they're fine to do that. We'll stay, we'll work hard, but yeah, you go do you get all your money and you stay at home and you chill.
Yeah,
we'll support
whilst getting paid £120,000 a week.
No, exactly. So that's.
If anything of this situation, and it will happen again in the future, hopefully not to us, but hopefully to another club. It just goes to show now how much power players actually have, because with all the mix of comments coming in about the situation, no one knows the true story. So no one knows if Amanda and Mirdad offered him whatever. No one knows that, bar them 3 on his agent. No one knows if he was promised a new contract. No one knows if he was asked for a new contract towards the end. No one flipping knows anything other than the people that are involved. There's always, I guess, 3 sides to the story: their side, our side, and the truth. No one knows that. So it's becoming a little bit of a thing. But no matter what Newcastle now do in this situation, and it's sod's law, we're going to be seen as the bad guys, because we either keep him, and we're being accused of holding him hostage. Well, he's not. He's holding himself hostage at this point.
Can you imagine holding hostage a person that's getting paid 120 grand. I would be that prisoner.
I would
Please lock me up with 120 grand a week.
People do it for 50 grand a week.
Damn right, torture me for 120 grand a week. Like,
exactly.
It's ridiculous to say someone's being held hostage.
I had to reply to someone on TikTok and be like, held hostage, really? Like, he's not been held hostage, he's been a brat.
Literal gun to his head.
Yeah, literally. I mean, probably shouldn't joke about that with our owners, but yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, because you know how that's seen. But yeah, he, no matter what Newcastle do now, they're going to be seen as the bad guys. We either keep him at the club and then he doesn't perform very well, which is obviously inevitably going to happen, or we sell him and we sell him for less than what he's worth, and then that sets a message into the future of, if a player wants to leave the club, they can just do exactly that. What do Newcastle do? Because no matter what we do or what we suggest, it's the worst situation.
No-win situation, isn't it?
It's a no-win situation, and we'll be laughed at regardless. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Get Whistler over the line. Come on.
No. Oh, exactly. We'll be fine, man.
I know he's done the exact same thing.
You know what it is? It does derive from
it.
it. No, it's true though. But this whole Isak situation does derive from the fact that actually this window isn't turned out to be too bad. All right, it's happening quite late, but you know what it is? How many times is this happening? It happens in January. It'll tend to happen towards the end of the month in January. All of a sudden, everyone's like scraping together in the last couple of days. There's a reason people sit and watch Sky Sports News until the actual deadline, literal minute, in the hope that your team flashes up, because it always happens, doesn't it? There's always
100%.
someone doing literally last second deals. People jumping in cars, people jumping on aeroplanes. There's like literally about 2 hours left. They're up there for the medical, and it's like, whoa, everyone's getting excited. But that's how transfer windows go. So there's going to be a lot more movement, not just in our club before the end of the window.
Oh yeah.
And I think in general, I'm happy with who we've brought in. Elanga's absolutely brilliant. Over the moon with that. I'm happy with Jacob Ramsey. It's an upgrade for us in midfield there. And Ramsdale, in reality, I know we've said mixed things about Ramsdale, but it is an upgrade on Rafa, isn't it, really? You know what I mean? Malik Chow looks kind of tasty as well. Trying to just watch as many highlights as possible now to get some real info on the guy, because, again, not going to lie, I only knew a little bit about him before he came.
Yeah, me too.
So, but this is all upgraded when you're looking at like what we're doing. And that was kind of the whole point. At the start of the window, we all sat down and said, we needed a right winger. We got a right winger. We wanted a central defender. We got one. Midfield, got one. Mint. It's the whole striker situation that's really messed this up. That it's just taking away any of the goodness. So there is some goodness there, and that's what we need to remember. And then the goodness will have to just shine through on Monday, because, dear God, is that going to be one hell of a hostile atmosphere. I'm sitting up near their fans, and I'm not going to lie.
I'm jealous you're there. I couldn't get a ticket.
Girl, like,
enjoy,
pray
babe.
for me that I don't get arrested.
Well, please don't.
I mean, I'm saying I'm joking, but I'm partially joking. Oh man,
it's bank holiday as well. It's going to be hostile.
They'll be winding us up. We'll be going wild. Oh my Lord.
I'm glad it's at home.
Oh God, yeah. Oh, it'll be so much worse if it was down there. I know.
Oh, yeah, awful.
I know. But, by the way, please play like you did against Bournemouth. I mean, obviously not the 4 goals, but in terms of their quality, I watched that game and I was thinking, hang on a second. Bournemouth were the better team for the most of the game, you know.
I'm just going out on a whim here, and people are going to say, Isak does not fit into that Liverpool squad. Hands down. I watched that game because my partner's my husband's is a Liverpool fan. I feel for
Ekitike, you know, if he goes.
Oh, me too. Yeah, me too. Isak does not fit Liverpool style of play. People can agree or disagree, but this is my opinion. He doesn't. I watched that game and I thought, ain't no way that he fits into that style of play. I know a manager is a manager for a reason, and they embed people in. I get it.
Blah, blah, blah,
I am telling you now, Isak, they don't even want him. Well, I don't know. Obviously they do, but yeah, I'm just like, he does not fit into that style of play. So he's,
It's a shame, because how we play is perfect for it.
Perfect.
Hence the reason he scored as many as he has in the last 2 seasons. But, look, we've given more airtime than we promised. So
there'll be a new story about it tomorrow, I'm assuming.
It will. Not out. So we can make false promises tomorrow too. It's fine.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Anyway, I think we've covered everything. Is there anything else you've also got to say about the game? I think I've said everything I can, I'll be honest.
Yeah,
good?
All good, babe. Yeah, all good.
And we pray again for next week. Well, we've got quite a few pods in between then and now, so we'll not really talk about Liverpool.
Yeah, we've got about 6.
Fine. Well, good. Happy days. See you later, chick.
Bye.
Every club, every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.